from your standpoint, as his position coach, what's really been the biggest difference with Wendell this season? Obviously, he rushed for about 800 yards last season, averaged about 5 yards a carry, but he's obviously taking a very visible step. So what's been the biggest difference?
It goes back to the message I told him as a freshman. We talked about it coming from the airport. I always told him don't take a back seat to nobody. He was no different. Last year he was the quote unquote backup to Russell. Then the roles got reversed this year. And then the thing with him is what else you can do to motivate him. This week was the task of, hey, you 6 yard shot from being the leading rusher in the Big 12. I want that. What I need to do to get it done. So it's already like, what else can I do? And then like the thing I'm challenging him now, I said, you're the best running back in the country going to get 10 yards. How about going and get some 50, 60, 70-yard runs? We got that safety in the middle field. We got to be able to make a miss. So you just constantly find different ways to challenge him to make him become a better player. And then, just today out here practicing, he got a bounce in his step he haven't had on a day like today in a while, in weeks, because he's been nicked up. So just getting him back to being fresh is key.
For him to do what he's done, I mean, really through at least that middle part of the season on the bum ankle, how impressive was that? I mean, that doesn't happen normally.
Well, I think you hang your hat on this team. I mean, that's the makeup of this team. Everybody thought we would just fold because of the month of October, but we had a bunch of guys like him that played through injuries and, being nicked up and saying, hey, we're going to find a way to win. It don't matter. Overcome excuses and adversity and just push forward.
If he doesn't have the bum ankle, do you think the rushing yards are more? Do you think they're about the same?
Oh, I definitely think it's more because he, without a bum ankle, that play, what was it, Baylor?
Yeah, the touch.
They ain't catching him. Yeah. They ain't catching him. Just stuff like that. And now he's starting to get to the point. You saw the runs this week where he scored a touchdown. That's a fresh Wendell who's not hurt, who's got his legs up underneath him because he's spinning out of tackles, he's running through guys, and that's the type of kid we get him for the next couple of weeks playing like that. It's going to end well for him.
Do you coach him like you used to coach Charles because he was successful? I mean, Wendell hasn't had that success until this year.
Well, I think, your coaching is changing because of the relationship. I can coach him different. Not say different, but I can be on him more because we've been together longer. I can be on Russell and Eli more because we've been together. Charles we was filling each other out. I didn't have to say much to Charles because he was already an older, mature guy.
He didn't say much either.
Because he didn't have to. In his work, you never had to say anything to him because he just did it. So just finding different ways to keep challenging these guys. And I think, the thing with helping Wendell is Russell. Russell challenging Wendell. Every week it's a race who's going to have the most rushing yards. This week Russell told me he was going to outrush him, what he should have. He had a couple plays. I think Wendell got an extra series to make sure he get that 100 yards. So, just stuff like that's making those guys continue to develop.
To have Russell doing that, though, I mean, for a guy that's been the guy his whole life, I mean, how does that help the process?
I mean, it just shows you everything people said up to this point about that kid, a bunch of BS, about being selfish, this and that. He's one of the biggest team players we got on this team. You never see him frowning, making the best of his opportunity. And then again, to me, he's still a starter. And he's back to being Russell. He's running the way he's running. And that's what makes Wendell go, because he knows he's just as good as him, if not better. It depends on what you want. So continue to push each other and just, you watch them guys, just pay attention on game day, how they interact with each other, pushing each other. I don't even have to sub him now. We got each other. We can feel each other body language when we need to go. I just wait for Dana to give me that moment. I can sub him in. So just the camaraderie of them two guys going feeding off each other is important.
Yeah, for Russell, I mean, he could have been mad and taken it out on Wendell. You guys as a team, I mean,
he's been great, man. Just down early, fought his way through it. Now overcoming adversity is like what he's been dealt with his whole life. There's nothing new. And it's finding a way. I think he's in a place where he's with a group of guys, a staff of guys that he trusts. You know what? And know when I was in my funk, these guys stayed with me, didn't give up on me. Whether what that funk is, who knows? So much pressure outside of football that guys deal with.
And then I know you're not coaching him totally this year, but Cody Clay, just what he's meant to you as a coach, and then what he's meant to the program as a whole on his getting ready for his senior day.
To me, I've been with that kid forever. I remember him coming out of high school. I've been knowing him for so long as probably any of the other guys on this team. And just watch him mature over this course of the years and then grow and being the player he is and always team first. his energy and Eli energy before this game last week, we knew what the atmosphere was going to be like. Take it for granted, but that got the guys fired up to see them out there with no shirt on and the wind blowing. They was ready to go play ball.
Did you think